Let me start with a sobering truth. Out of every 100 traders who open an account this year, 80 to 90 of them will quit within the first 12 months. Not because they didn't want it badly enough. Not because they didn't believe in themselves. Not because they weren't smart. They'll quit because trading has a way of ripping people open and showing them something they didn't expect to see. Themselves. The market is not just numbers on a screen. It's a mirror. And that mirror reflects your impatience, your greed, your ego, your fear, and your discipline or lack of it. So here's my question to you. Will you be part of that 90% that disappears quietly after blowing a few accounts? Or will you fight your way into the 1% who endure? That's what we're about to break down. Before we talk about emotions or psychology, let's start with the cold numbers because they don't lie. 80 to 90% of traders quit within their first 1 to 2 years. About 5 to 10% stick around longer, bouncing between strategies, forums, gurus, and endless trial and error. They survive, but they don't thrive. And then there's the rare group, the 1 to 5% who actually succeed, meaning they become consistently profitable over time. Now here's the punchline. The market doesn't wipe these people out. The traders do it to themselves. Think about that. The market doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care if you're 19 or 59, rich or broke, educated or not. It doesn't wake up in the morning plotting to destroy you. Traders eliminate themselves. They tap out because the game is harder than their illusions allowed them to believe. Now let's really get into the guts of this. Why do people quit? Why do so many walk away bruised, bitter, and broke? I'll tell you. 1. Unrealistic expectations. People come in thinking trading is a quick hustle. They believe the Instagram ads. Flip $500 into $50,000 in 6 months. They dream of sitting on a beach with a laptop, sipping cocktails, while the charts magically spit money into their account. Then reality hits. Instead of profits, they see losses. Instead of freedom, they see sleepless nights. And when that fantasy bubble bursts, they quit. 2. Emotional pain. Trading doesn't just hurt your wallet. It crushes your soul. Every loss feels like the market is saying, "You're not good enough." When you put money into a trade, it's not just money. It's your belief, your time, your self-worth. Losing feels personal. And some people simply can't take that level of emotional punishment. 3. No patience for the learning curve. Ask yourself this. Would you expect to become a surgeon in 6 months? A lawyer in a year? A professional athlete after watching YouTube tutorials? Of course not. But for some reason, people think trading is different. They think it's a quick skill. When they realize it takes years of practice, study, and painful mistakes, they give up. 4. Discipline problems. This is the silent killer. Most traders actually know what they should do. Follow their system, cut losses, let winners run, and manage risk. But do they do it? No. They chase green candles. They revenge trade after a loss. They risk way too much on one setup because this one feels right. It's not a lack of knowledge, it's a lack of self-control. 5. Financial pressure. This one is brutal. Some people are trading with money they can't afford to lose. Rent money, tuition money, loan money. The pressure is unbearable. Every trade feels like life or death. And when you're trading scared, rational decisions go out the window. 6. Loneliness. Trading is one of the loneliest professions in the world. You sit in front of a screen, alone, fighting your own mind. Most don't have mentors. Most don't have communities. They suffer in silence, and the isolation eats them alive until they give up. Bottom line, they don't quit because the market is unbeatable. They quit because trading exposes flaws, patience, discipline, ego, that most people aren't willing to fix. Now let's shift to the survivors, the 5 to 10% who don't quit after blowing a few accounts. These are not the geniuses. They're not the ones with the fanciest setups or the fastest internet. They're simply the ones who refuse to walk away. They take the pain, the losses, the humiliations, and they keep going. At some point, they realize something important. Trading is not about predicting the market. It's about managing risk and staying alive. They stop chasing home runs and start focusing on survival. They stop worshiping indicators and start studying themselves. They learn that the real battle is not on the chart. It's in their mind. Their superpower is not intelligence. It's endurance. And now, let's talk about the rare ones, the 1 to 5% who break through to consistent profitability. What makes them different? Discipline. They follow rules even when it hurts. They'd rather miss a trade than break their plan. Emotional control. Losses don't shake them. They don't spiral into revenge trading. Patience. They understand trading is a marathon, not a sprint. They think in years, not days. Risk management. They protect their capital like it's their oxygen because they know without it, they're dead in the water. And here's something you need to understand. Their success isn't flashy. It's not jackpots and yachts. It's steady, boring, consistent growth. That's the true game of trading. So where does this leave you? Most traders give up not because they can't make it, but because they weren't prepared for the grind. They thought it was easy money, and when the mask came off, they ran. But if you can accept that this is hard, if you can commit to fixing the flaws trading exposes in you, your impatience, your lack of discipline, your ego, then you already have an edge over most. Surviving the first few years is half the battle. If you can stay alive, if you can keep your capital, if you can keep your head straight, you're ahead of 90% of people. So I'll leave you with this. The real question isn't whether trading works. The real question is, can you stay in the game long enough to make it work for you? Because if you can, the 1% is waiting.